welcome back. Will Trent season 4 episode 13 dives into some heavy territory from domestic abuse and manipulation to psychic visions and complicated relationship. This episode is layered, emotional and honestly a bit unsettling. And at the center of it all, Amanda. Let's start with the main case because it hits hard. For the first time, someone from the team is pulled into an investigation in a very personal way. When Amanda becomes entangled in a case involving her own gun, and what unfolds is a deeply uncomfortable look at domestic abuse. We meet Casey, a woman clearly traumatized, terrified of men, and only able to trust Amanda and to some extent Faith. At first, everything about her screams victim, and to be fair, parts of her story are very real stalking, fear, control, all of it is portrayed in a way that feels grounded and believable. But then the episode flips things because Casey isn't just a victim, she is also manipulating the situation, and that's where things gets complicated because what this episode does really well is show how messy these cases can be. Yes, abuse is real. Yes, victims deserve protection. But what happens when someone uses that narrative to their advantage? Casey befriending Amanda, gaining her trust, and then using her gun to kill her husband. That's not just betrayal, it's devastating, and it almost cost Amanda everything: her career, her reputation, her emotional stability. And then there's Bill Appleyard. He's aggressive, opportunistic, and clearly trying to use this case to climb the ranks. While he crosses multiple lines in his interrogation, he does raise one uncomfortable but important question: what caused the escalation? Because understanding that could make or break the case. Still, the way he gets goes about it completely out of line. Now let's talk about Amanda and Faith because their dynamic in this episode is powerful. Both of them has sacrificed a lot for their career, and this case forces them to confront that. Faith especially is struggling. She's already questioning her choices, her relationship with Malcolm, the emotional toll of the job, and seeing Amanda go through this just makes it worse. There's this underlying fear that they keep falling for the wrong people, and unfortunately that fear turns out to be justified. Amanda thought she found something real with Casey, but instead she was used, and you can see the heartbreak all over her face when she realizes it. Now, on the flip side of all of this heavy drama, we have psychic vision. Yeah, the episode really goes out there. A graduate student named Seymour claims he is having vision, random cryptic images like green circle, a runner, and even a unicorn. At first, it sounds ridiculous. Even Omwood isn't buying it, but Angie she follows the clues, and somehow they lead to a real murder. What starts off feeling almost supernatural quickly turns into something much darker because the vision connect to a disturbing case involving jealousy, obsession, and loss. We meet Reva, a woman dealing with deep emotional trauma tied to fertility and motherhood, and her breakdown it's haunting. That scene on the balcony surrounded by baby dolls crying about how she deserved to be a mother, it's chilling and heartbreaking at the same time. Yes, she committed a crime, but the emotional weight behind it makes it hard to watch. And then there's Omwood, because while he's dealing with this bizarre case, he's also navigating something unexpected: romance. Joanne is back, and that tension between them immediate. There's chemistry, frustration, and a bit of history there. Turns out Omwood never called her after they first met because he thought she was out of his league. Classic mistake. Their eventual date a complete disaster, but in the most charming way. Bad weather, wrong food choices, and unexpected hiccups. But somehow it works because effort matters, and by the end, that awkward, messy date turns into something genuinely sweet. A kiss under the bridge, music playing. It's a rare, light moment in an otherwise intense episode. So, overall, episode 13 is about trust, who you trust, why you trust them, and what happens when that trust is broken. Amanda learns the hard way. Faith is forced to confront her own emotional pattern, and onward he finally might be opening up himself again. This episode balances heavy themes with enough a character's moment to keep things grounded. It's messy, it's emotional, and doesn't offer easy answers. That's it. Thank you all for watching. Bye.